Well, this turned out to be an interesting team. This was my second project, training helicopter pilots and sensor operators and working with a very large client. This was my second project after graduate school, and I had only been in the field for a year as a designer. The team ended up being about 20-25 people by the time we were through. The kinds of people that I worked with were, first of all, subject matter experts who were given to us by the customer, which was the Navy. We also had on our team I had an assistant designer who was not trained but was experienced and was a former member of the Navy, and that really helped an awful lot because he understood the context that we were working with, and he understood the personalities, and he frequently had to save us from peril. I mean, here's this fresh out of the can instructional designer out of college, inexperienced in the ways of the world, and this guy, a guy named Bob Huffman, saved my bacon a lot of times. We had other people. I had an assistant instructional designer who was a good writer, and he served writing functions. We had a video producer because we had to produce 20 video segments while we were doing this. I had a host of artists. We had a very large art shop, it turns out. There were different varieties of artists. We had a cartoonist, a guy named Johnny Hawk, who was very good. We had a serious technical line, straight lines, with straight edge and everything. We had one of those. We had one of the categories that we had that was very interesting to work with was what were called paste-up artists. In those days, we didn't have desktop publishing at all. I mean, the word processor was still a Wang machine that came as a thing that sat beside your desk. It was a huge piece. We couldn't create design layouts, and so they would have to use a special processor called a compositor to print out on a glossy certain kind of paper the text that was going to be placed on a page. And these paste-up artists would have to come with their X-Acto knives and their straight edges and cut out a piece of text and glue it to the piece of paper. It was a really interesting process. Nothing in my training in college told me that there was this kind of a person. And yet I ended up, or any of these kinds of categories of artist, and yet within a year after college, I was managing a host of these people. Very interesting experience.